1%. That's what I was told as a third grade student. That 1% of everyone who touches a basketball will make it pro. Imagine chasing something. Imagine chasing something for your whole life that is basically impossible to achieve. Chasing that 1%. Now add being a 5'10", 165-pound guard who was told not even to try out for his varsity team, didn't start his senior year, but still somehow, some way, found a way to achieve that goal. Achieve that goal by defying all the odds and getting into that 1%. Growing up, I come from a small steel mill town outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania called Beaver Falls. Beaver Falls, before I was born, I guess it was a very, very, very booming city. You know, they had the steel mills. Everybody was making lots of money. It was cool. But then when the steel mills went out of business, everything went downhill from there. It has a lot of crime, man. A lot of crime growing up, man. I'm not going to say it was the easiest of towns. It definitely was a rough town. But I pay tribute to that because it makes you tough as a person. You know, you see fights. You obviously get into a lot of fights. You see your drug dealers. You see all that. But I don't feel as if that stopped me from becoming who I am. I feel like that's what made me who I am. I give credit to Beaver Falls because Beaver Falls made me the tough person that I am. It made me be able to adapt to any situation, no matter how tough or how soft it may be. It opens your eyes to a lot of things, and you just get used to it. You know, you're thankful for everything that you've gone through. You're thankful for the lessons. You're thankful for the blessings coming from such a tough town. You know, it's definitely made me who I am. Beaver Falls, PA, small town, man. Definitely made me who I am, and I definitely appreciate everything that I learned from that town.
My son and my daughter would see the local drug dealer beating somebody, lots of shootings and everything. So they had a lot to overcome. Sports was a great escape for the both of them. From early ages, even before school, they was always involved with an activity and took great pride in it. The one rule that I had is once I pay the registration fee, you have got to finish it. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it anymore. But you do have to get my money's worth.
The doctor takes one look at me and says, like, we got to get you into surgery. We got to get you into surgery. You have acute appendicitis. And if you guys don't know what acute appendicitis is, it is where your appendix is about to rupture. And if your appendix ruptures, it could kill you. Thailand, man. Thailand, if I'm being honest, I should be dead right now. Thailand is just a whirlwind of emotions. So much happened. It was a Monday, but everything had happened probably that Wednesday. I started feeling a lot of pain in my stomach. But I'm used to having pain in my stomach like I have acid reflux, so my stomach's always in a lot of pain. But we had a semifinals game on Sunday. And Friday, me and a bunch of close friends, my friend Tiffany, as you guys see in the video, we always go out on Friday nights to a place called Sway because they got all-you-can-eat wings.
So we went there. He's hurting, like in pain, like keeled over, like I'm like, you're fine, suck it up. Like, I think you are being a baby. Like, I don't understand what's wrong with you. So I made him come out with me. We're having a good time. He's trying to dance through it. He ate through it. He's like, yo, something's not right. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. We're done for the night anyway. Let's just go back. So the next morning, he's like, Tip, yo, like, you need to take me to the hospital. Like, something's not right. And I'm just like, Phil, you are dramatic. Okay, you guys have to know, Phil is dramatic, over the top, extra, all the time. So I'm thinking like, okay, he's being the biggest baby about being sick or having like just a little food poisoning or just whatever it is. So I'm like giving him tough love. I'm just like, suck it up. It's not that big of a deal. I'm like, I'll meet you. We'll go walk and find a doctor or something real quick. So, you know, we're walking and he's like, oh my goodness. I'm like, oh my gosh, Phil, seriously, we're going to do this today? And I'm like, maybe you just need to lay down or something. So we're getting to the doctor's office and, we're sitting there and they take him back for a second. And then all of a sudden they come back out and they're like, you need to go to the hospital because, it's your appendix and like, you need to go now. And so then I'm like, oh my gosh, I am the worst friend ever because I'm sitting here thinking that it was just some little food poisoning that we ate the other night and that he could push through it. And really, it was his appendix. I will say the whole surgery process, there's a lot of ups and downs of just the insurance and getting the right people up there to pay for everything. And it was just such a circus. But through it all, Phil had great spirits. And I just cannot believe he went through all that pain and had such a positive outlook on everything.
All I can remember is the doctor coming into the room the next day and he told me that I would have to practice walking. And I looked at him and I was like, what do you mean practice walking? He was like, well, you have to get your strength back. And if you guys know anything about me, you know, like, my faith and the Lord is very strong. So I just prayed right then and there. I was just like, Lord, give me a sign. And he said, stand up. Just stand up and walk. And that's what I did. I just stood up and walked right then and there. It wasn't the best of walking, but it was the point where it's just like, okay, you know what? I have been on this journey of basketball for so long. This little small surgery that I just had, it's not going to stop me. So right then and there, I just got up and walked. And after that, it was just like a whirlwind of health issues, from going home, having to get checked up again, and then they call it an accidental finding. They found a cyst on my femur, which is in your hip and thigh area, if you guys know where your femur is. And that one's tough. That one's still kind of tough to talk about because it's still there. I was home for about 6 months, and I was getting tested for cancer. They said that there was a huge mass on my femur, and I was basically on bed rest for 6 months. No basketball, no nothing. I think that was the lowest point of my career. I've been rejected from countries before. I have been told I wasn't good enough before. But I think that was the lowest point, was when they said that, you know what, you shouldn't be walking. Yeah.
The one thing about Phil as a basketball player I can say is that he doesn't know how to quit. He doesn't know when to stop. He doesn't know what fail means. He's just going to keep going and going and going. There's maybe 2 occasions that I remember. One is a scrimmage, and I played against him one-on-one one time. I'll talk about the one-on-one because that's the best one. It was like I was beating him badly, just terribly. He was losing, but he just kept saying, "Let's go, let's go, let's go again, let's go again, let's go again, let's keep going." He kept saying that. Oh, I'm just warming up. I'm just warming up. He kept going and going and going. And finally, like, the only way to stop was, like, I took my shoes off. I was like, nah, I'm not playing anymore. And he just said, all right, no, let's go. Lace up, let's go. And I was like, no, I'm not playing anymore. So yeah, it's just, he doesn't know how to fail. He doesn't know how to quit. He just won't accept it.
The basketball scene here in Vietnam, originally I came here as a youth coach. So after my whole 6 months of being on bed rest and dealing with the health issues, I reached out to a very close friend of mine who was over here in Thailand. And he was just like,
I can probably get you a youth coaching position, and then you would just have to work out for teams. I was like, okay, cool, we can do that. So I came over here under the pretenses of a youth coach. And my first impression on the kids was I was amazed. Of course, it's not like to the basketball skill level of America, but just the passion and the drive that the kids had, that's what captivated me at first. And then having the privilege to work with just some very, very talented youth players. A kid by the name of Dan Lee Hong, man, he just took everything that I knew and made it his own and developed as such a talented player. Another great player of mine, Coy still has a lot of work to do, but you can see just how bad he wants it. Another young player, I can go on and on about all the guys here, but it's just so much skill, and the whole environment and community backs it. So on the pro level, a bunch of talent. Close friends of mine, James, Doc, Henry, Stephen, Home. Those guys, they have the capability and the skill level to take their talents anywhere in the world and be such an impact on any team. It's amazing to me that such a small country could have such skill level, but more importantly, it's just the support of the whole culture. People say for the culture, but basketball here really is embedded in the culture. When you go out to parks, you see hundreds of people there. Just some might not even be playing, but they'll be there just loving the game. You have little kids running around with their jerseys on, trying to imitate a move. Not that they see in the NBA, but from the players that they see here in the VBA and in the HBL and the BDSL. And I think that's what makes Vietnam so special, especially with the basketball scene. It's the people behind it. That's what makes Vietnam so special. Playing for Bahdin, to be honest, at first, I really didn't know just how prestigious of a club Bahdin was. Like, I heard stuff, but I really didn't understand it. But at the time, like, you just grow and you start being around the whole team and the organization, and you see for yourself just what it really means to be a part of Bahdin. It carries a lot of weight. As far as being one of the most winningest clubs and one of the most oldest clubs in the HBL. I carry it with a sense of pride because in HBL, you're only allowed one import per team. And me being that import for Bahdin for the past 2 years, I do carry that with a pride. I do carry that with a badge of honor. Like, man, like, I'm that import for Bahdin. And it just makes you feel good. It makes you feel good because not only is Bahdin a basketball team, it's a family. I never forget it would have been last year, my first birthday here. All the guys pitched in, they got me a brand new pair of shoes, So it's small things like that make Bahdin so special. And of course, obviously winning a lot of games, that helps. I think last season we only lost one regular season game, and we lost in the quarterfinals. But here nor there, it's not about the wins and losses per se. It's about the family. And that's what Bahdin is a family. Growing up, I grew up in a place called the 2-6. And there was a court right by my house called the Chains. I would always go there. Just shoot around, get better, and just think about a lot of things, just to relieve stress, So now that Bahdin has its own court, outdoor court, it's near my house. And it reminds me a lot of home. Because I come down here, I see some of the younger guys playing, working on their craft, trying to get better. And it's just an amazing thing, I'm not always able to get into the arena whenever I want to, but this is what I call home. This is home. I think another great part about being a member of Bahdin is everything that they do for the community. I mean, you guys just saw this beautiful court that we have built for the youth players, and now having a U16
a U15, a U10 team for the young guys to come out who aspire to be a part of bodying whenever they grow older. That's such a great thing that I feel that is part of this organization, is the whole involvement of not just the members, but involving the community and the youth outreach and just everything about it, man. I carry so much pride and so much honor of being a part of bodying. Last season, my first season playing in the HBL, part of bodying, not gonna lie, it was kind of confusing trying to understand the format of it all. But after I got used to it, I definitely realized that I had to play a lot smarter and a lot faster, seeing as if I'm only allowed to play 3 quarters. On a more personal level, it was definitely an emotional season. It was my first season back from all the health issues. I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of doubts, a whole lot of uncertainties within myself, like if I still got it, if everything the doctors were saying, would I still be able to play at a high level? Would I still be able to do all the moves that I'm used to doing? And I lost a lot of weight in the process. So would my body be able to go as hard as I used to go? I'm a very aggressive player and I hustle a lot. So it was just like, can my body still do the same thing? First game we played Dong Da at PKKQ on their home court, and had 24 points. I think I shot like 60% first game. So that kind of set the tone for the rest of this season, far as being able to get back in the rhythm, far as being able to still control the tempo, far as being able to still play my game, but only at a higher level than what I did before.
Phil's an unbelievable player. One specific thing that really separates him from others is his ability to shoot the ball and get a hot hand really, really fast. He could easily make 4 to 5, 6 threes in a row and just completely kill your defense. And once you mix that, his shooting ability, with his craftiness, quickness, and ability to create off the dribble, it just makes him a very tough matchup to try to guard and contain.
We end up on the weaker team, right? If we're going to face a stronger team, that was basically all full pro players. And I'm like, Phil, so we got the weak team. I said, well, we don't have the strong team. It was Phil and I, and 3 other 4 subpar players. And then Phil's like, nah, man, I'm gonna drop 40 on them. And I said, oh, this guy, man, he's new. I thought he's just speaking just to speak. But then as I realized, this guy, I saw his energy. His energy was, he really believed he was going to drop 40 on them, right? But I already knew who we were facing, and they were not really easy competition. But so the game starts, right? I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let this guy believe, let him believe what he's gonna do. And then Phil ended up actually scoring 4 3-pointers right off the bat. Like, he hit one, boom, right on the middle. So I saw him get a little spicy, get a little happy. I gave him another one, boom, hit it in the corner. He started to heat up, and he hit 4 straight 3-pointers. And we ended up winning that game. We ended up winning that tournament. And him being a little shorter than the other players, him being new here it opened my eyes. Like, man, he's got some game.
HBL, especially coming off of a great starting game. Me finding out like we were playing on Bong Road TV, and obviously all the buzz around like the import players and everything. I took this season as something that I felt like I had something to prove, and it wasn't just to like Vietnam, but it was more or less to prove it to myself. So we played Scorpius on Bong Road TV. And I'll never forget this. I went up to the referee, and I was just like, yo, I'm about to have 30 this game, and I'm only allowed to play 3 quarters, mind you. I ended that game with 32 points, and it was just like, yeah, I'm here. I'm back, I got what it takes to be able to lead this team to a championship, so that's what I'm going to do. But, yeah, just from there, it just increased, it just blossomed to keep going on and getting better. We ended up losing to the quarterfinals, but we did win our whole series, which was definitely a big accomplishment. So I'm definitely grateful for that. But just this season, we just got to keep getting better and just keep getting improving. And that's my main thing. BDSL, Super League, that is a whole process of getting drafted, of getting placed on your team, of player ratings and everything. BDSL is a process, but it's definitely worth it. I'll say the skill level and the competition level for BDSL is a lot higher than HBL. And don't think HBL is lazy, because it's not. There's some players, but BDSL, that's where they bring in all the imports, like every import here in Hanoi, put us all in one gym, and we all play against each other. So every single night, you know, like, yo, there's somebody that can match up with you that you won't have to go hard at. I'm gonna talk about one specific game that really set the tone. It was the first game of the season. Dude named Legend Lawson. I heard a lot about him. I saw him on Facebook. I heard a lot about him on all throughout Vietnam, all throughout Hanoi, like how great of a player he was. And man, when I say like this dude could go, he could go. Like, he was definitely a player. But I heard so much, and if you guys know anything about me, you know, like, I'm super competitive. So my whole thing was like, okay, I'm hearing about him, I'm hearing about another guy, but I'm not hearing much buzz around me. Yeah, I had a great HBL season, but I'm still that kind of unknown guy. So I think I was drafted like 3rd as an import, and that triggered me. Like, that made me mad. Like, oh, I didn't go first? Okay, bet. I got something to prove. I came out there on a mission. First game of the season, I shot 73% from the 3-point line. Not all together, but from the 3-point line. 73%. I went 8 for 11. I did something stupid in the 3rd quarter that got me a technical foul, though. So I had to sit out some of the 3rd quarter. We ended up losing that game by 1 point. It was 78-79. And I feel like we would have won that game if I wouldn't have got that technical foul. But just after that, everybody knew who I was. Everybody knew, yo, he's the real deal. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm here. And y'all gotta respect it. And ever since then, BDSL season, I averaged over 30 points a game. I led our team to the semifinals. We lost to the team that won the championship. A very, very great team overall, very great team. But BDSL season, that's a whole process. It's a great process to go through. It's challenging, it's tough, competition level, tough. But man, that's a level. That's a whole level. This season has had its ups and downs, man. I'm just coming back from a rib injury, but I'm still leading the team in scoring, and we're still on top of the bracket. But as of now, due to the COVID pandemic, we really don't know what's going on with this season. It's postponed now. But as far as playing, though, it's a little different. We have a key player who I call my brother Hung, who's hurt, and he's always been that teammate that I could turn to. You know, he's always been the one that gave me the nickname as the hot hand. But Coach added some younger players that they do the best they can do. You know, they're still young, but they add a lot of youth, they add energy, and they add hustle, and that's what we need sometimes. I feel that deep down, if things go right, we can make a very, very good push for the championship. But anything could happen, and I mean, that's why we play. But my goal in life, and even using basketball as the platform that God has given me, is for everyone to be able to be motivated when they see me play, you know, or even when they play with me. They see that no matter what, no matter how much pain I may be in, no matter if I'm hurt, no matter what, I'm out there playing and I never give up. They see that I'm pouring my blood, I'm pouring my sweat, I'm pouring my tears out, not just for this game, but for this community, for my family back home, for all the little boys, for all the little girls who have had a dream of making it somewhere and who were told that they wouldn't make it. They see what I'm doing, they see that anything is possible, and they see that this is for them. That's my goal.